My dear students, welcome to our next online lecture for rotational dynamics. In this lecture, I am going to explain about the conical pendulum. So first we see what is meant by pendulum. When a heavy metal sphere or a point mass, actually it is called as point mass, but ideally it will not be in the practice. So a heavy sphere is attached to a light inextensible string, then it is simply called as the pendulum. When we move it in a vertical plane in horizontal direction, it is called as the simple pendulum that you have to learn in the chapter 4, that is oscillation. And here, when that pendulum is whirled in a horizontal circle and it moves in a horizontal circle and its string perform a shape of the cone, in that case it is called as the conical pendulum. In your 11th class, you have learned the conical pendulum, but what is the difference? Here in your book, two diagrams are given. One is for the inertial frame of reference and one is for the non-inertial frame of reference. When we take the inertial frame of reference, we are outside the frame of reference, and when we take the non-inertial frame of reference, means we are in the accelerated frame of reference, then we must be there in that frame of reference. So I am going to explain that by taking the example of, again, when we are sitting in a car, that I explained in the video of centrifugal force, because the centrifugal force present always in the non-inertial frame of reference, that is in the accelerated frame of reference. Means when we are sitting in a car and the car is moving along a curved road, we feel some outward force that is called as centrifugal force, that is due to the frame of reference, due to the accelerated frame of reference. We are present in that non-inertial frame of reference, and when we observe it from outside, then it is called as the inertial frame of reference. Means here this is the conical pendulum. Yes, when we observe from outside, we call it as the inertial frame of reference, and when suppose we are sitting on this conical pendulum, we are on the conical pendulum and we are observing that outward force, then we say that we observe it, we study it in the sense of non-inertial frame of reference, and there we consider the outward force, that is the centrifugal force. In your 11th class, we doesn't consider the centrifugal force, we consider only the centripetal force. When it performs the circular motion, there is a centripetal force. Yes, and we find the expression for that. In 11th, what we are considering here in short, this is our conical pendulum. It performs the circular motion. Its weight mg acting vertically downward. The tension T0 resolved into two components, T0 cos theta and here T0 sin theta. This T0 sin theta provide here the centripetal force. We compare this T0 sin theta is equal to mv square by r and T0 cos theta is equal to mg. Again we will get that equation, v is equal to under root rg tan theta. That is the linear velocity of the conical pendulum. But here in your 12th class, you have to obtain the expression for angular velocity of the conical pendulum. Then you have to find the period and you have to find the frequency of the conical pendulum. So let us see the expression for that. How to find the period of conical pendulum, how to find the frequency of conical pendulum. For that, I will start the expression. We consider, suppose we have considered one conical pendulum. Let m is the mass of the bob, v is the velocity of the bob, linear velocity with which the bob is performing circular motion, horizontal circular motion in horizontal circle, r is the radius of that circle, omega is the angular velocity with which the bob performs the circular motion, theta is the angle made by the string with the vertical here at the point of suspension, T0 is the tension created in that string. When the string whirled in a horizontal circle, the bob move in a horizontal circle, there is the tension created in that string, that is the T0. Now here we consider what are the forces acting on the bob. There are the two forces again acting on the bob. One is the weight mg acting vertically downward. The another is the tension in the string, T0 here. T0 acting along the string towards the support. Now again this T0 is divided into two components, T0 cos theta and T0 sin theta. As from the geometry of figure, you know that this is the angle theta, that's why this angle angle made by this here is also theta. So we can say now here from the diagram we can say that the centripetal force is provided by T0 sin theta. Here we say that this T0 sin theta balance the outward force, that is the centrifugal force, and that's why we take here the equation mr omega square is equal to T0 sin theta. And another equation, the weight mg is balanced by the vertical component T0 cos theta. That's why we write the equation mg is equal to T0 into cos theta. Again we divide equation 1 by 2. When we divide this equation, we get here mr omega square upon mg. We can write here T0 sin theta upon T0 cos theta. M get cancelled, T0 get cancelled, and you can find the equation for omega square only. Omega square is equal to this g here, come here on this side, g sin theta upon r cos theta. This r is shifted here in the denominator. So this is the equation for omega square that is given here in your book. We have to find the period and frequency. I can say omega is equal to under root g sin theta upon r cos theta. But instead of that, I first put the value of r. So r is the radius of that horizontal circle. Here this is the string, capital L. We can say the capital L is the length of the string, and this angle is theta, and this is the radius. So opposite side of this angle theta, we can say r is equal to L sin theta by taking this triangle ACB. If we consider this triangle, this value theta, the hypotenuse is equal to capital L. The opposite side of this angle, we can say radius, that is r is equal to L sin theta. So we say here as small r is equal to L into sin theta. I put that value here. We get omega square is equal to g into sin theta upon L sin theta into cos theta. Sin theta get cancelled, and we get the equation here omega square is equal to g upon L cos theta. That's why I can say omega is equal to under root of g upon L cos theta. Now we know omega is equal to twice pi upon t. When we compare this equation, I start from here. When we compare this equation, twice pi upon t is equal to, I get under root g upon L cos theta. So I can say t is equal to twice pi under root of L cos theta upon g. This is the equation for period of this conical pendulum. See here, the period does not depend on the mass. The period is directly proportional to the length of the conical pendulum and inversely proportional to acceleration due to gravity. Again, it is directly proportional to this cosine of angle theta is also. Now, if I want to find the frequency, I know that the frequency is equal to reciprocal of period. So, how we can write the frequency? 1 upon twice pi under root g upon L cos theta. There is one question in your exercise, that is on what factor the frequency of conical pendulum depends. You have to obtain the equation for conical pendulum. N is frequency of conical pendulum. N is equal to 1 upon twice pi under root g upon L cos theta, and from that you can say the frequency does not depend on mass. The frequency is inversely proportional to square root of that length, and thus we can find the equation for frequency of conical pendulum. So this is about the conical pendulum. Thank you.